Happy Thursday, everyone. We are here for office hours. Welcome. Christina, good morning. I just want you to know that I saw this and I was like, Hamilton at home. I know this one. It's Christina. And please continue to do that for me because I appreciate it. So, good morning. I feel like this will be the most productive 3-hour interactive seminar I'll attend all week. Do I have this posted as 3 hours here? I think Zoe and I are planning on about an hour, so let me know if I have that wrong. You guys, I have Zoe today. I'm going to bring her on with me. If you have not met Zoe, she is part of the Banana Bunch. She is joining us from the UK. And I am so excited that she agreed to do this with us. Zoe, welcome. Thank you.
Oh, thank you. Happy to be here.
So excited to have you guys. Listen, Zoe did the Creator School, which is the email that we got a while ago. Some people got an invite to be able to go, but Zoe's actually been. And so um, she has been kind enough to agree to come and tell us about her experience. So I know I have like a list of questions for Zoe, and also I know that we're all curious about it. So feel free to drop questions in the chat for Zoe, and we will work through them. I do want to call out that because it was an Amazon event, it's unlikely, but it is possible that there are some things that Zoe will not be able to share with us. If so, she'll just flag it as that's confidential and we will just continue moving on. But please send us all of your questions. We are excited. I do want to give you guys, before we jump into Creator School, the big push Monday or Tuesday, I can't remember what morning we did that, for the extension 1.12.4.2, something like that. Went live 2 days ago. We had some bugs from the big push. We this morning pushed the newest version with those bugs fixed. So if you are still having bugs, just try and update your extension. If you have more questions, obviously always tag me with that in the group, and I am happy to answer those for you. And obviously, as always, we will address them as quickly as we can. So I think we are in good shape there. Yes. And if you're joining us for the first time, this office hours is going to be a little different than our normal, but for our newbies joining the group this week and for anybody who is joining us on YouTube who's not in the Fluencer Fruit group, I do these every week at 11 a.m. Central Time. Sometimes we have guest speakers. Sometimes it's just me. We talk about what's happening in Amazon influencer, affiliate, creating content, all sorts of things. We talk about the extension, answer any questions, take suggestions and ideas. So welcome everyone. And let's dive in. We've already got some questions too. So
Oh,
Zoe, tell me a little bit about Creator School in way of when were you there?
I was there last Thursday, which is why I couldn't join you. So yeah, a week ago, and I applied to go on the very first one because I'm just impatient. And I'd been there already. For those of you who don't know, I was part of a pilot scheme for the Amazon Influencer Program, full stop. So I went all of last year where they just needed to know from influencers what we were looking for. So
Huh.
I'd already done the pilot. So that's how I got an invite. Well, no, that's not how I got an invite to Creator School. But I've already done the pilot. So I'd been there quite a lot already. So I kind of went just to be nosy, really.
Yay. I I had forgotten that you were part of the pilot for
Mm.
the UK over there. That's so fun. All right, we already have a couple questions here. So Christina wants to know, what did they serve for snacks?
Well, when you get there, there was a nice buffet laid out with fresh fruit, coffee, fresh orange juice, sort of some pastries, and it was just go and help yourself. That was very nice. That was breakfast. And then I have taken some photographs, which I'll put in the Fluencer Fruit private members group of what we had for lunch. It was really nice. Buffet, help yourself, lots of things for intolerances, things like butternut squash salad,
Yum.
really nice snacks. They were definitely keen to look after us. it was like watching something that you see all the people going to in Las Vegas or wherever. It looked pretty impressive. Yeah.
That's amazing. I love that. I haven't done well, I guess I have done an official Amazon event, but it was unboxed. So it's like their ads partner
Mm.
stuff. So a little bit different, maybe not quite as like posh and
Mm.
catered for like that. I was wondering like how many people were there? Like how big is each creator school class at the moment?
Um, I asked so many questions because I knew that I was going to chat to you today. I was like, hmm. So again, I will post. I don't know if I've posted a photo in the group thing, but I will. And they were absolutely fine about us taking photos at
Good.
every opportunity. The only thing they asked is that we didn't take any photographs of the Amazon staff or the other creators. If they had their backs to us, that was fine. Or if the other creators were like, yeah, it's fine. And of course, as creators, we are all attention seekers. So no one was going, don't photograph me. Everyone was like, oh. And if you get, in fact, there was an email released today in doing a second wave of invites,
Oh yeah.
which also includes the, did you get that, Liz?
Yeah, you sent
Yeah,
it to me.
with the webinars, which they're doing during the day and the evening.
Yep.
Which are online. And that picture at the header of that was at day one, and I'm in every single photo with a blue cardigan on. You have to use a little microscope. So that is exactly what it looks like, and that is the room you're in. So back to the question. They laid out 60 chairs, and I would say probably about 30 people turned up.
Okay. That's pretty good. I like that.
Mm.
Um, now the actual space, okay, this is gonna be the million-dollar question for specifically our crew, which is
Mm.
how much time they spend on talking about off-site affiliate stuff versus how much time did they spend talking about on-site influencer stuff?
So the day kicked off at 9:30, excluding probably a 40-minute break for lunch. It finished at 4:30. On site, they spoke about for probably 15 seconds. The rest of it was off site.
Okay. So really good for all of us to know, those of us who get an
Mm.
invite, that at the moment, at least, the majority of the content at Creator School is specific to offsite. That's really helpful to know.
Absolutely. They are definitely the only, what's the word, reference that they made during the course of the whole day to on site is when they explain the difference between the different store names. And they said, OMAS, your OMAS store name, that's for on site. You don't need to know about that at the moment.
Okay. Yeah.
The whole day. And that's what they said.
That was the one thing.
Mm.
Cameron says, wow, makes sense that they focus on offsite, but wow. Yeah. I think
Mm.
I think it maybe speaks to kind of like where their goal for the overall associates umbrella is that focus with on-site as an addition. And like most things in the Amazon space, um, there's always like a group of people like us who's like, wait, but this is our main thing. Like, we would like for it also to be your main thing. And,
Yeah.
over time it may grow. I am curious also because Creator School currently is in the UK. So, did they focus and talk a lot about like the UK marketplace specifically, or was it more of a global affiliate type conversation?
The two ladies who predominantly ran the day, one of
Mhm.
them is the head of AIP Europe and one of them is
Okay.
London. So they were absolutely talking about France, Germany, Spain, UK. So the
Interesting.
European
Yeah.
geos, um, definitely not America.
Okay,
No.
that's really interesting. That makes too based on the fact that right now, like in the EU or in Europe, because I guess technically
Yeah, whatever. Yeah,
is no longer, but
whatever you want to call it. Yeah.
over in the European region, um, on-site is still not predictably showing up, right?
Mm.
And so it makes sense that even from that perspective for that audience, that 99% of the content that's relevant is
Mm.
for off-site. Um, I agree with Cameron, kind of like, wow. And it would make sense if they were in the US that maybe the split would be different, but who knows? Maybe it wouldn't be.
Mm.
Maybe that's, really the full focus of the team. Um, One of the things that I wanted to ask you was, at Unboxed, for example, when I went in New York, like there were Amazon team members around, but it was a conference of thousands of sellers and brands and everything else with 60 chairs and 30 people. Like how how much conversation did you get to have? How accessible was the Amazon team in that space?
Oh my gosh. They are the most accessible group of people. And I will, because I know there's going to be some questions, and then I'm going to share at the end the most amazing thing that happened. Um, they are 100% committed for us to earn money.
Mm,
And the whole thread and the whole theme is, how can we help you earn money? What can we do? What do you
mm,
need from us? And you were talking to the actual people. You were having lunch with them. You could just come
wow.
up to them, and they were there for you. You get their personal email addresses, and get this. At the end of it, the lady who ran it all, she said, "Great, now you've all kind of networked and met each other. I'm going to set up a WhatsApp group for this day one creator school.
Wow.
And if you want to join, here's the QR code." And so over the last 7 days, you have literally got this team of people. There's probably, I don't know, 15 of us. And they're literally asking questions like, how do I deep link? I'm selling, I don't know, a cleaner on Instagram. How do I
Yeah.
do it? And the Amazon team are there on WhatsApp, ready to say to you, yep, that's good. This is what you press. They are so accessible.
That's
Totally.
amazing.
Mm.
I think one of the interesting things, and we talked about this a little bit when I got back from the event in Sweden,
Mm.
Amma Nordic, was it's interesting that internationally, sometimes the teams are so much more accessible, um, than sometimes in the US. And obviously, we all have had conversations with creator support and those sorts of
Mm-hmm.
things. But being able to have those sorts of
Mm.
conversations, I think, is so invaluable for their team, but also quite honestly for a group like ours, because there's input, right? Like now, if
Mm.
they have questions, I assume at some point they may tap your crew to be like, what do you guys think about this? Or are you using this analytics
Yeah.
tool that we have, or fill in the blank from them? So it's impressive
Well,
that they're building that community.
Creator School is just going to be the same that I did last Thursday. They're just repeating that same one over and over again. And
Yeah.
it'll be on the webinar. So you guys don't need to get a flight. Whoever was thinking about getting a flight from Dallas, don't, just tap into it. But then from Q3, she said it because I asked about on site,
Right.
and one of the questions is, she said, well, we're hoping to set up a mentoring program, which is a bit like what's going on with the WhatsApp at the minute, because
Yeah.
I'm jumping in all the time and just saying, yeah, use Post App, yeah, use Genius Links, because they're basic, real basic questions that I can answer.
Yeah.
And I'm trying to ingrain myself as much as possible. So I
Absolutely.
have absolutely made it incredibly clear that I would love to be a mentor for the on-site when they start that in July, Q3.
I
So
love that.
that would be amazing. I don't think I personally am going to learn anything that I don't already know, thanks to the team here. But they're like insider, like, oh, are we getting uppers? You know,
Yeah. I
or
and
even
I
lowers.
Yeah, just something on site.
Yeah.
I do think too, like Amazon has come so far with their educational material for the program. Like, and that makes sense, right? Because the program's growing, so they're building out materials, and also they have to create educational content for the largest group, which is beginners,
Mm.
right? And so it will be a while, if ever, that the content is at a level where those of us who are in it all day, every day, are maybe learning different things, right? It's kind of like the Amazon TikTok workshop that they
Mm.
did last fall. And everybody was like, it was good, but there was no like new information per se coming out of that. It was a 101 tutorial, which is great that they're
Yeah, I watched
doing
it.
that.
Yeah.
Yeah. But maybe not what some of us are hoping that they'll get to at some point. But I
I
love,
definitely think, yeah, the next one will be intermediate.
yeah,
I don't think for anyone who's on this, unless you're a complete beginner at Fluencer Group, I don't think they're ever going to do anything that we don't already know.
yeah.
We could
And
fly over to them.
I think too, like being in the day-to-day minutia, you just are inherently going to know even more than the people who are working on the program, right? Because you're conceptually building this as a um like an add-on to the associates, whereas this is our focus. And so there
Yeah.
is a piece of like, yeah, if they even have a different context for it, all of their perspective on it is just going to be even different.
Mm, mm.
Yeah.
I can see some question. I'm desperate
Yeah,
to
I
answer
was
that
gonna
question
say,
because
and I love
there's a
that
question
you're
on there, and I'm like, I asked that question.
I'm gonna
Not,
start at
it's not.
the top and we'll
Yeah,
just
yeah.
work
Start at the top.
down.
Yeah.
Yeah, we'll just work down. So Cameron wants to know, did they say anything about vertical video time frame? It seems like they want us to do 30-second minimum now.
No, nothing at all was mentioned about on-site videos. For off-site videos, whether that's Instagram, they were heavily interested in us posting content from TikTok or putting it on TikTok and doing link in bio. TikTok, Instagram, any of that, that's all they were talking about was how to pull that into Amazon. They had no feedback on that whatsoever.
When
Nothing.
they were talking about link in bio in TikTok, did they address in any way, shape, or form the fact that TikTok doesn't like promoting Amazon links through link in bio? There's like the rumors around being not promoted, those videos not being promoted. Did they talk about that at all?
I asked the question, do you think there's any chance that TikTok might become a bit more like Instagram where we can now do it? And they said, there's nothing in the pipeline that we're aware of.
That's a bummer. I know
Yeah.
Cameron for a while had the ability to link to Amazon in her TikTok videos, but I think that went away.
Yeah.
Hey, Doug,
Thanks, Doug and
Nikki,
Nikki.
Dana, Michelle. Oh, good. All right, we're just working down. Okay, Doug and Nikki want to know, how big is the fireplace? It looks like you could legit blacksmith work in there.
It's the cottage is about nearly 300 years old, so it is a really old, massive fireplace, and it goes all the way through the building, and it's just as big on the other side with a duplicate of this because it's cold here today, very cold.
Oh, I can't complain. It's
Yeah.
warm here today. Yeah, Christine says, I love that you went for all of us. All right. Question for Zoe. Do we know more about the Amazon program than Amazon, or do they know what is happening?
We know more, 100%. We know more.
Yeah.
Several times, because I knew the lady doing it, because I'd been on the pilot scheme, several times questions were asked, and she said to me, Zoe, you probably know the answer to that.
Oh, nice.
Yeah. So I actually answered a few questions, which is great for me because I really, really want to be a mentor because
Yeah.
I'm so passionate about it. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, in your strategy of networking and being available and adding adding value to their community, both in person and in the WhatsApp, is the perfect way to kind of like get into that spot. I love it. Okay, Christina says, did they give any tips for language translating to be inclusive to all marketplaces? There is a lot of different languages spoken if they wish to draw from offsite. Oh, good question.
Well, this is the question that I was looking forward to answering. What do you think, Liz? And we haven't spoken about this. So
No, we
what
didn't
do you
talk
think
about
the
this.
answer is? No, I know. I've got the
Um,
exact answer because I asked the head of AIP EU. I know the exact answer, but what do you think?
Okay, so I'm going to go between they didn't have an answer
No, it
or
wasn't that.
okay. So then my options are either every marketplace is going to be in the native language of the locale, or that English is going to be acceptable on all. Are those my two options?
No, I'll ask the question I asked, which
Okay.
kind of segues into what you've just said. So the head of Europe, AIP, I said, I'm really, because they said a lot of times, so once you've got your UK storefront, but they were talking about a storefront in terms of for driving off-site traffic,
Yes.
leaning into your audience, kind of do a list for your audience, let your audience to know what to shop for, kind of
Yeah.
storefront. And then they were saying, and you can link them and you can open your storefront in Germany, and this is how you do it, and this is how you do it. So my question was this: when I'm doing stuff for an alternative geo, let's say Germany or France, is it acceptable that I use artificial intelligence to
Oh,
translate my voice and put it on in a different language? Yes or no? What do you reckon?
I'm gonna guess yes.
Yeah. She
Yeah.
said that's absolutely fine, no problem.
I
So
mean, I'll take it.
it doesn't quite answer Christina's question, but I'll take it as well. Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, the yes to being able to do it is exciting, right? Because it's been a
Mm,
question for a lot of us around, like,
mm,
how are they gonna feel about the AI voiceover for language
mm.
translation?
I
Yeah.
mean, I would imagine 2 years down the line, we'll be sitting here having a conversation where we just go, Amazon have pulled AI voices for language. But, if we're the early adopters and we've got all our videos on those geos,
Yeah.
they've got massive problems in India at the minute.
Really? How
India, yeah. So we're going off track. I do have verbal diarrhea. I'm so sorry. Not all
No, no,
British
this is
people are
great.
like this. Poor old Liz is getting a rest this week. In India, they've got so many creators who are just pulling product listings
Oh.
as videos. They're getting swamped by it.
I
Yeah.
did see the gentleman in Kathleen's group who asked about it
Uh,
yesterday, and he was like, "Can we do this?" And we all said, "No, that's against terms of
mm,
service." And he was like, "But there are so many people that have thousands of videos this way." And I just kind of
mm,
responded with like, "You're going to see people breaking terms of service. At some point,
yeah.
Amazon will shut it down and they'll get banned. It takes time, but it usually happens." So,
Well, if you want to type that as a question, Liz, I'll answer that question as to what Amazon UK are doing about it. But we'll run through the rest of them first.
oh, what is the Amazon UK doing about it?
I know. Right.
Oh, Christina
Yeah.
said she got the email from the UK regarding Zoom Creator School that they are offering night classes.
Yeah.
So it's 10:30 AM for Christina when they're doing the Zoom
Yeah.
night classes. That works.
Go. Honestly, the whole thing, the whole day was fantastic. For you guys who are at the level that you're at, don't get a plane. But honestly, I'll share with you what ended up happening to me, and it was really, really good. Mm.
Yeah. Oh, I love that. I'm gonna write down what's
Yeah,
the
yeah,
UK doing about
yeah.
against POS shots. Okay, I'm gonna add that so we don't forget.
Mm.
All right. Dana Michelle says that would be so awesome talking about in you posting the videos and the pictures in the group so that people can see them. All right. Did they say anything about how they are going to compete with YouTube's shopping program where you make a much higher commission?
No, they didn't talk about competing with it at all because bear in mind,
Mm,
most of the people that were there didn't even know that if you link something without deep linking it, that you're losing commission. It
okay.
was a really basic level learning,
Hmm.
and they were there, and the sorts of people that were there had maybe good Instagram followings as a parenting blog or
Mm,
beauty or fitness, but they weren't currently linking those things to Amazon.
oh,
So the
wow.
whole sort of niche of what they were doing there was we've searched these people on Instagram kind of thing. We found them and actually we want to draw them in and we want them to become great creators for
Mm,
us.
yep.
So no, there was none of that. But what they did definitely say as part of the day was they were really talking about to make more money.
Mm,
If you drive traffic from off-site, you are going to earn higher commissions. And a really great way of doing that is to put your video on YouTube. And when
mm,
you link it, you need to link it like this. And this is going to, so yeah, they didn't talk about competing with it. They were more put it on YouTube. Yeah.
yeah. That's so interesting too, because I think I give this example a lot and it's a terrible example. So just bear with me for a minute. But in the early days of Camel cigarettes, they had like, I don't know if you guys had those in the UK, but it was like their mascot was this cartoon camel smoking, right? And they did that to target kids because your first cigarette tended to be the one that you stayed with for your lifetime. So lifetime value of customer. I think about that a lot in regards to these sorts of things because what they're doing is basically the same thing, but not with a cigarette.
Mm.
But they're trying to be your first affiliate program, right?
Yeah,
Because once you're
definitely.
ingrained, it's super sticky. As we all know, like changing platforms and being able to change out
Mm.
your links is difficult. So finding these creators who already have an audience, who want to make money but aren't quite doing it, bringing them in is brilliant, right? Because now we're your
Mm.
first affiliate program and we're going to help you and we're going to build
Yeah.
this community and set you up. I mean, it's the same philosophy, just healthier.
It That's definitely the flavour of how I would say, and I have no data that that's what
Yeah.
they did, but by talking to the bloke that was next door to me and the lady that was sitting opposite me, they were like, no, I haven't done anything yet for
Oh,
Amazon, but I've got 500,000 people following my channel about cooking vegan food.
yeah.
So
Which
mm,
truthfully is incredibly difficult to do, right? So like tapping that in, it's
mm.
kind of not shocking because this is what we do. It's surprising, but like interesting that she's not monetizing that with Amazon yet.
Unbelievable, I would say.
Yeah.
There was one lady there who had 1 million views on a Bissell kind of bed cleaner thing. A
Yeah.
million views on the video. And she had it linked, but not deep linked to Amazon. And she paid something ridiculous like 53p. Oh, cents, 53 cents to you guys. Yeah, because it wasn't deep linked. It might have been more. Maybe it was $15.
I
But
mean,
it was such
with a
fun.
million views, it could have been $50 or 50 pounds, and we still would be like, no.
Yeah.
Oh
So
my God.
she was actually on the pilot with me last October
Yeah.
when and we were learning at that point something, and then she came the same as the first time at creator school, and we sort of said, how are you getting on? She went, oh my God. She said, I look back now and think, how did I not know that? So she was
Yeah.
kind of there like me, a kind of someone who kind of knew what they were doing.
Yeah. Yeah. Oh, I'm glad for her though, because that's life changing,
Mm.
you know? Hey, Will. Okay, yeah. Cameron says I was able to link for
Ah,
about 2 weeks from TikTok directly to Amazon listings. That was cool while it lasted.
oh,
I know it was
oh,
such a
good
bummer.
to
I
know.
thought for sure because Amazon and TikTok did this whole we're going to be partners, whatever.
Yeah.
And then we got, I can't remember what they called it, one link or something like that. And
Mm.
then, yeah. So let's see. AI voiceovers are getting really good already.
Mm.
The technology is like fast. So, Sue, where would you look for a good AI voiceover app? Okay. And Dino
I
says, Hey,
don't know.
Jen.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, this is the one Dino's been using. And I know that he's got, I think of all of us, probably the most experience, or he's been the most vocal about his experience with the AI voiceover stuff. Um, hey Deb, good to see you. Let's see. Drive more traffic. Yes. All right. And then Will says, I've been uploading my videos to YouTube. I just don't get many views at all. Out of curiosity, okay, yeah. Doug does a lot of YouTube stuff. So takes time, work, you'll build momentum with it. The other question I have for you is I assume, Will, that you're doing this, but making sure that
Oh.
you are optimizing your titles and your descriptions when you're uploading to YouTube. So, hello, Carl. We've got another UK person in the house today. Amazing. All right. So you went, and I know you told me this on the side, but I'm going to set it up for you. Like,
Mm.
on-site has been a real focus for you, obviously. Leaving, how did you feel about off-site coming off of like this full day of off-site content?
When I went, my motivation for going was largely to show my face. I
Mhm.
had, because I knew it was going to be about beginners creator school, I sort of went for the snacks and just to show my face because I'm really keen to be a part of this mentoring program.
Yes.
I have quite a massive niche in the UK, which is
Mhm.
chickens. We're one of the South's biggest chicken farms, and I'm a chicken expert. I've done it on I don't suppose you get BBC in the UK, in the US, do you? BBC TV.
Sometimes we watch
Oh,
BBC. Yeah.
so I've done a few seasons on BBC Two, which is one of our channels, as a chicken expert, teaching celebrities how to look after chickens. So I've got this whole thing. I've been in a few YouTube videos that are like massive. Not Mr. Beast, but it's someone in the UK who's very similar,
Okay.
teaching you how to raise quails. So I've got a bit of a persona around what I do.
Yeah.
But I never, ever, ever monetize it because I just cringe. Who wants to see me feeding chickens? Dull, boring. So I've got onto this on site in the US, thanks to Kathleen's videos and stuff.
Yeah.
So going to the creator school, I was just going to show my face. Oh my gosh. I came out of there and they do a questionnaire, of course, because they want the feedback. I even wrote this. I am absolutely, since last Thursday, it's like the penny has dropped. The scales have fallen from my eyes. And now I get it. I get that people want to watch me feeding chickens in the morning. And I thought, but how can I monetize this? Like, it's chicken food. It's not even available on Amazon. But I kind of now get that if you've got this 500,000 people following you, that when you do then light a candle at night because you're relaxing, I understand that I put the candle on my Instagram link, people click through it, and even if they don't buy the candle, I get all the other money. Now, I knew it. I knew it in my head.
Of course.
I knew this. I knew how it worked, but I didn't really understand how much money you can make from doing that. Come on.
Yep.
So I walked away from there feeling like I'm an offsite queen, which is odd because clearly can't really do offsite, but I will.
Yeah.
They were so enthusiastic about them wanting, I don't know who your big creators are in the US. Oh, is there a lady called Ali P. Hunter? No, she's not someone who's, yeah. But
Maybe.
you know,
If so,
you
I'm not
always,
familiar.
yeah. Again, I don't bother because I'm like, yeah, I'm not interested. Who are you?
Yeah.
Sorry to everyone in the US, but I'm not interested in watching a lady talking about Thursday night football on Amazon. But anyway, I
Fair.
really got the impression that from last Thursday, they're really looking for these early adopters who are going to become the faces of Amazon creators.
Mm-hmm.
They were absolutely falling over themselves. How can they help? They
Mm.
brought a creator on and we could ask her anything. It was fantastic. And I've now reinvigorated my Instagram, my TikTok, everything. And I even just posted something. I mean, it was so stupid, I cannot tell you. I posted a screenshot from Amazon of a really fun egg box. So I didn't even own the product.
Yeah.
And I just said, somebody stop me. It's in my Amazon basket. Is it worth the money? Right. Linked it to my Amazon basket with hashtag AF. And I couldn't believe that I was watching people shopping and they were buying things like, I don't know, a kid's cup and some crayons, whatever. Only one person bought that egg box. It didn't matter. I cannot believe how inspired I've come back feeling. So forget on-site people, just do off-site. It's amazing.
Well, I think one of the funniest things, you talk about like the scales came off, like it suddenly, like the context of it, like all made sense. And I was joking with actually a friend of mine yesterday because you're like, people don't want to watch me feed chickens. They don't, these sorts of things. And there's something about like, as marketers ourselves, as people who live in this space all the time, we have to remember that we're not our market. Right. So you're like, I would never, like, I don't want to do that. But the thing is that people that are watching you are like, oh, someone stop me. Let's go check and see if this is. And then you've got that 24-hour cookie.
I know.
And like, it's hard sometimes to remember that we're not our own market.
Except for I am, because I'm in the UK scrolling people's chicken videos going, oh, that's a nice chicken. Oh.
Dana Michelle will work through some questions and comments here. Dana Michelle says, does anyone have a link to their Amazon storefront currently in their TikTok bio? I do.
Yeah, I do too.
On my Liz on a Journey, like my lifting videos, on that one, I have a link to my Amazon storefront there. And I think where I finally landed, and some of you do TikTok a lot more than I do, but where I landed on TikTok, because people were like, don't mention Amazon, don't mention link in bio, don't like some of those things that like kind of urban lore right now is that Amazon or TikTok was not promoting those videos. And what I came to realize is that people were talking about TikTok shop videos. So you can't mention, and if you've got something tagged on TikTok, you can't mention Amazon, which makes perfect sense. But that for videos that you don't have a product tagged on TikTok, it was kind of like fair game. So that's kind of where I've made the, and to your early, like that's probably obvious to some of you, but like I just hadn't thought through like what the differentiators were there. So, but I do have it linked from my bio there. Dino has a Beacons page that has Amazon on it. Doug says our Silkies were our favorite chickens.
I sell Silkies.
Oh, okay. Carl says I love Zoe's Mad Chicken TikTok videos.
Thank
I don't
you.
think I must not be following you on TikTok. I got to do that when we hop off today.
Oh, yeah.
You're like, oh, another follower. Clara says, I love that someone stopped me prompt. I like it too. It's really funny. Like it's kind of a, yeah, and it's acknowledging that it's not something that you own. So you're not necessarily endorsing it. You're just like, I really want this. And it also sounds like it was incredibly authentic from you in that moment because you're like, I like this. Let's
I
see what
really did want it. It was a heart-shaped plastic egg box, but it only held 3 eggs. It
but
was
it's
good.
adorable. And with Valentine's Day coming up.
Oh, thanks, Christina.
Let's see. Carl says, often you're selling the story, not the product, and that works best. Yeah, I've been I don't have chickens. I had chickens at one point, but that was years and years ago. And I've been working on, so I use wrist wraps in all of my lifting videos. And so I'm trying to figure out how to tell that story around, like, I don't work out unless I'm wearing them, but they're in all of my videos. Sometimes I tag them, sometimes I don't, but it's about the story.
Tag them every time.
Yeah, I need to. Okay, question. So was Amazon's goal to get you to understand offsite at that event,
Yeah.
or was that a perspective on offsite you discovered on your own?
No, the whole day from 9:30 till 4:30 was for all of us who attended to understand how to do offsite better to drive more sales to Amazon to ultimately make more commission ourselves. But just for me personally, up until that point, I was like, oh, offsite, not interested. But the scales fell, and now I am.
I think
And I mean,
on-site isn't. Oh, sorry. Go ahead.
I was just saying, haven't earned a fortune, but it's not the. It's just the seeing the potential, particularly because in the UK, Carl will know we have 0 carousels going on. So why not do something?
I think too. Oh, I forgot. I'll come back to that.
Oh, sorry, that was me.
No. Oh, I know what I was going to tell you. I think that on-site is an easy gateway, right? Because it's one of those things where you don't feel like you're selling. You're just creating like shoppable content to help people make a buying decision. And it's like a step in because a lot of people feel uncomfortable selling, promoting to their audience, right? And so I think that on-site tends to be like okay, now that I'm doing this, and then when the scales fall off or you kind of like it makes that connection for you, it's not a rough jump, right? Because you're already in the space, you understand. So I've seen a couple other people kind of like do that entry mode. All right, Dana Michelle wants to know, in thinking back on the day, what was your biggest aha moment or your biggest takeaway?
Definitely for me, it was, I imagined as someone who sells chickens, there's only so many chicken products I can sell. Egg box, chicken food, I don't know, whatever. There's a limited amount of products, 5, 10 products I could sell. So that's why I've never bothered to do much about offsite because I think, oh God, now I understand that my followers, if I can get up to 1 million followers, they're following me, the person. And it doesn't matter what I'm talking about. They just need to click through, and it's that 24-hour cookie commission
Yeah.
That's if I've got enough people doing it. I think that was for me that, oh, so I knew these things. I didn't not know them, but I just thought, oh, because without sounding like a total big head, sorry, this is very un-British, but every single person there said, oh my God, but I'd love to watch you clipping a chicken's toenail.
Yeah.
And then I was like, what? And I thought, and when there was the lady with the Bissell cleaner and the lady with the vegan food, like, there's lots of people in the space in the UK that are beauty, hair, parenting, health and fitness.
Yep.
There's still a few about pets, cats and dogs, but there's very few about chickens and farming and self-sufficiency, which is what we do here.
Yep.
And for me, it's just kind of like, oh, it's going to sound so ridiculous when I say it out loud because I'm an intelligent woman. But things like, let's say I come in from the chickens, I've got a whole basket of eggs. What am I going to do? Oh, I've just got the new pasta attachment for my KitchenAid. Come with me and let's use up these eggs making some fresh pasta with our
Yes.
KitchenAid. And it doesn't, I don't know why I was so thick about it.
But I love it. There is some piece, I think, where like if it's something you live every day, specifically feeding chickens, and you're like, this isn't interesting. Whereas I did not grow up around chickens. I know exactly zero about them outside of I had 3 one time a long time ago in North Carolina. But like people don't know. It's interesting. And when you talk about like I follow an account where the chickens dance. I don't it's just
Oh, that woman, they do that.
yeah, they just like dance to and I think it's hilarious. I don't know if they're actually dancing, if it's AI, I don't know. Like I have no but I love it. But it's because I'm super unfamiliar with that. So I do think sometimes in our day to day we're like there's not much interesting. This is just what I do today. Whereas other people are like what did you do today? What did the chickens do today? You know, and it's much more interesting and unknown.
Well, one of the things I did last week, when after I'd come back, is it was really muddy near the chicken house. So I got my husband to just build like a little ramp out of pallets. And for me, like, well, I couldn't. How could I monetize that? The pallets are just old; they're not on Amazon. But now the pennies drops that if I build up my followers, wham, one post in every 10 is something,
Yep.
and that just didn't click for me. So, but it has now. So watch out.
Yeah. And you're gonna have to keep us up to date on like how it progresses, you know?
Well, what I might do, with your permission, I will link my socials in the thing.
Do it.
See, I'm not very technical.
Don't worry. Just post it in there. We'll work it out. All right. He says, in my opinion, the audiences off-site are massive compared to what we have access to on-site. I agree. I think that 24-hour cookie is the biggest differentiator, right? Because on-site, we're showing up in one spot and we get that one commission. For offsite, like Zoe mentioned, post the candle, they click through. It doesn't matter if they buy the candle or the chicken box, whatever they're buying until that cookie expires or they click on another one.
And one of the things, just to give a flavor of how good this creator school was, and again, it's not that they're telling you something that we don't already know, but they were saying things like, so if you've got, for example, a candle, but it's low in stock, or it gets released in, let's say, October, but it's great for Valentine's Day, say to your audience, you know, this is a great candle and it's sold out at the moment, but pop it in your basket because you'll get a reminder when it comes in your basket. And the ladies at the front of the stage were saying, now the good thing is we're going to pay you once it's in their basket for 90 days. If it's in their basket, you're going to get commission 90 days. So encourage your audience to put it in their basket, even if it's sold out. They were really, really just all the time. It felt like they wanted you to succeed. And they didn't leave you to find that out. I mean, I knew it, but
I didn't know there was
they
a
just
90-day basket in addition to the
yeah,
24-hour cookie. That's awesome.
yep. And it's really good to encourage people to put things in their basket because you get the 90 days. Yeah, it was fantastic.
I love that.
But not for us who want on site. Not for that.
All right, Christina says, going back to the YouTube postings, how do you feel there is value in putting in hashtags? Oh, do you really feel there is value in putting in hashtags in the title and a little description? How much of a description, and isn't a descriptive title adequate?
Oh,
Sorry, I got a tickle in my throat. So Christina, I'm going to call out that I am not a YouTube expert, and I will scroll down and see if Doug or one of our offsite people answered this. I don't know that hashtags do as much as they used to, and I don't think that they harm. Um, I do think that there is a value in having your description optimized, your title and your description optimized. Now, what that includes, I couldn't like lay out the formula for you. But I do think that's important, along with obviously deep linking from the description to the product. I'm gonna let you read this one.
you probably wear boots or gloves, you use tools, you have appliances and furniture where you deal with the birds. Those are all opportunities to point to them as. You are so right. And that's what had gone over my head. And it's things like I've got a few KitchenAid videos, which do very well in the US actually. And I've got the pasta, which of course is for the eggs. And I can do videos showing people the best way to poach a quail's egg or whatever. And the penny just hadn't dropped. I just thought, well, I haven't got anything to sell on Amazon to do with eggs. But now I can just post anything about, oh, look at this lovely quail egg box. And I didn't realize as well, the ladies were really saying your audience on offsite is changing all the time. Don't be frightened to repeat. Find something that sells well. Find something that you analyze your reports. Oh, they were really good on the reports as well. And so, yeah, you're 100% right. I didn't really realize how much I have got. But even things like, say, my nails, for example, it's quite unusual. My nails are always done because, of course, I'm doing on-site videos.
Yes.
One of the days I said, oh, come with me. I'm going to paint my nails. Shall we paint the chickens now? Oh, what do you think? This green or this blue? I'll put either in my basket.
That's
just
amazing.
Just click on green or blue. Tell me what color should I paint their nails? They're never going to be getting their nails painted. I'm too busy.
There's also like your audience changes all the time, but also even your same audience gets surfaced different posts, right? Like, yeah. Christina says, obviously, I've not done either for the YouTube description and title, and only my tight shirt videos have thousands of views. It never fails, right? It's the one you're like, really? All right. Carl says, I watch a guy who cleans road signs and another who power washes driveways. Those people have captured.
I watched that driveway one. I watched that.
I watch the guy who does yards for people.
Yeah.
I also my husband watches the guy eat tin fish. He's in the UK. I'm like, gross. Yeah. And so now we have tin fish. Yes. So the guy just eats fish out of a tin. And now we have sardines in our pantry. I'm like, I'm good. But I'm convinced you can make money doing anything on the internet. So feeding chickens, I feel like, is not a far reach. Doug wants to know, did Amazon seem to have a preference for offsite platforms they find the most effective?
Yes, definitely. It was very heavy on the Instagram. Of course, they spoke about TikTok. Of course, they spoke about YouTube. But I think because the linking tool, well, two reasons. A, there's the linking opportunity with the stories. So that was quite a big thing that you could link it. But also, I think because the audience that they were talking to were everyone had an Instagram. Yeah. Not everyone had TikTok. Not everyone had YouTube. So definitely it was heavy on the Instagram.
Yeah. And there's also the whatever Meta and Amazon partnership or whatever they're doing right now too. So that makes sense to me. Carl says the offsite commissions in the UK are so much higher than on-site. So interestingly, in the US, sometimes offsite is lower percentage wise for a specific item, but that 24-hour cookie, because you're not just making on one item, kind of like I think is how they make up for that. Great question. Zoe, do you do most of your offsite linking from TikTok, YouTube, or Insta?
Oh, what you mean for the 4 days that I've been doing it?
Yes.
Well, I've been using Facebook.
Okay. Very cool.
So I have got Instagram. Oh, no, actually, yeah, that's not strictly true. So TikTok, no, nothing.
Okay.
For me, I'm just growing my persona, my chicken persona, because the TikTok videos are definitely a bit more stupid, whatever.
Love.
Yeah.
Those
Chickens
are
on
the
a
ones
bridge.
that you're like not expecting and they're going to go like weirdly viral
Yeah,
suddenly.
hopefully. All of my on-site is, so I've got maybe 400 videos on-site, deep linked on YouTube, but not under my business chicken name, just under a separate account, just deep linked. Instagram just started. And for me, Facebook in the UK is still quite popular, particularly with the demographic of people. I think if you're beauty and fashion, it's probably not Facebook. If you're chicken, small holding, home, garden and pets, Facebook is still okay.
Yeah. It's about knowing where your market is, right? Debbie
I'll
wants to
post
know.
it because I'm not too sure how to say it.
Perfect.
Well, you can, East Sussex Smallholders is our business name. So feel free to Google it, East Sussex Smallholders chickens, and I'm sure it will come up.
That's amazing. Okay, this makes me feel better because Pete also did not know about the 90-day basket. I've always known about the 24-hour cookie. I didn't know that it was just to get it into their cart and then that there was a 90-day basket.
No,
That's really
90
good.
days. And that's a long time, 90 days.
That's a long time.
Yeah. I mean, one of the things they sort of said was put it in your basket. So that if we know as people that our followers offsite like to buy those kind of products, she said, put it in your own basket. Because the minute that it goes on lightning deal or limited time deal, so we are going to send you a message and then you can pull that out to your followers. Hey guys, I know you love buying, chicken egg boxes. These are on deal now for 9 hours.
Yeah.
And it's that whole thing. Even if people don't buy them, they're probably going to click on it.
Yeah.
And you get that commission.
That's your tag. You just need that cookie.
Yeah.
Beth says, but if I put it in my cart and it's out of stock and it doesn't come, that is a risk, especially with the day and age that we live in. You never know when there's going to be a supply chain issue or something else, specifically with different sellers.
But 90 days is a long time.
That is a long time. Yeah.
It's probably going to come in 90. It
I
might
do
not.
like to adding it to your cart so that you know, so that you can re-alert people. That's a really good tip.
And they were full of lots of little nuggets.
Yeah.
And it was just that whole thing of, we want you to succeed and we're going to give you every tip we can. So when they start doing on-site, woohoo, except for it'll be me giving the tips, I expect.
We'll get all the little tidbits there too. When they start doing on-site, they're going to be like, Zoe, we'd like for you to come teach this section of the creator school.
I think definitely they would invite me onto the webinar. Yeah. So when they teach it, definitely. Please, if they're watching this video, when it's replayed on YouTube, but they know I do. They've got, I'm pecking at their head every time I go.
Yeah. All right. Dana Michelle says our KitchenAid videos pay us well. So she's in that. She loves that too. Carl says hashtags are not as important as they used to be, but if there's a chance they can help, why not use them? And Doug with the hashtags are irrelevant on YouTube. Can't hurt, but no one really uses hashtags on YouTube. Description, title, thumbnails are very important. Okay. Christina says, I do the Genius link in the description and a repeat blurb about storefront and subscriptions. Yes, but just not a further product description, something else to work on. Yeah.
And do you, Christina, when you put your storefront link on, do you use deep link for your storefront as well? Or do you just put your storefront?
That's a good question. let's see. But if I put it in my cart and it's out of stock, I will likely put something else in my cart to purchase soon, which means I will have to take the out of stock item out of my cart. So then the cookie dies. Oh, I see what you're saying. I wonder if you save it for later, if it's still in your cart. I love the yard work guy.
Right,
He's so
Christina's
good.
just answered that question. No, just the storefront. Do not just put the storefront. Deep link your storefront.
Yes.
Because then you're getting the affiliate offsite commission. If you just link a storefront, you're just getting the commission and it then becomes on-site.
Yep.
So deep link your storefront. I had to tell them that.
You were like, wait, that's not what we want. All right, Carl's dipping out. Good to see you, Carl. Thanks for joining us. Lots of love to Zoe there. All right, we've got some more. I'm going to skip some of the YouTube answers. It's a little interesting that Instagram would be Amazon's focus, as TikTok and YouTube are directly competing with Amazon for sales.
I think that was just because the audience they were talking to are people who have, yeah.
I agree with the TikTok vibe. Zuck and Bezos are tight. I might have missed something. We can put Amazon links in IG stories. I haven't branched over to IG yet, other than my personal account.
Yes, you can.
Yeah. I think it's pretty easy to do too. But again, to quote Zoe, make sure you're deep linking from your story because people are in app there.
No, I'm going to say you're wrong.
Oh.
Because it does.
I'm happy to be corrected. Yes, ma'am.
The pupil has become the master. I've got a funny feeling, just double check it. I think it only works. It doesn't work if you use Genius Links for deep linking on an Instagram. I think it has to be their either Post app, which is the it's not the Amazon's deep linking, but Amazon pay the fee to Post tap on our behalf.
Oh.
Yeah, check it. There's definitely there's a deep dive on Creator University. Don't deep link it. You have to use, what's it called, mobile get link or something.
Yeah. Or Site Stripe or whatever that one is.
Yeah, and then put that through Post tap for the deep link. The downside of Post tap is you don't get very good analytics, and it will only open in the country that you're in.
Okay.
So for me, Genius Links open whatever geo you're in. Post tap will only open in the UK if I Site Stripe the UK product.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Check that out. More homework for everybody. But yeah, you can link it straight from stories to the Amazon product.
Okay, that's good to know.
Using a sticker link.
Yes.
Look at me, I'm an expert. I've only been to one day.
Look, you're already an Instagram. Yeah, you're out here teaching. Doug says, Christina, I went to an event with Liz last year where one of the speakers was a woman's clothing seller, and they accidentally found that when she wore a very tight shirt, clicks skyrocketed. I mean, that's just data. Not the niche I'm aiming for, but a girl's gotta do. It was a funny story because a young male employee figured it out, and it was such an awkward conversation for him to tell her what he found. You know, sometimes the data speaks for itself and you're like, oh man, that's not what I wanted to go have the conversation about today. No, just the storefront, never thought of otherwise. Okay, so now Christina is going to be deep linking her storefront also. I feel like if I wore a tight shirt in videos, it would discourage sales. Let's see. Cameron says, I bet if you click save for later, it counts. Liz beat me to it. Oh, finally. I'm usually like so far behind in the comments. I assumed, Cameron, you said that. I have homework. Zoe is my newest mentor. Zoe's going to start her content creator YouTube channel too on the side.
No, I've got too much to do.
Can you give a rundown of deep link? We can do that next week in office hours, Dana Michelle, specifically for deep links, because that's like a whole other, like a big topic.
I think, does Kathleen have a deep link section? She has a video on YouTube, I think, all about Genius Links.
I think she does.
Yeah.
Dana Michelle will link to that in the notes for this deep link video. Okay. Night 88 just tuned in. Good to see you. Thanks for joining us. All right, we got a question from Doug. Is it okay to send links to your storefront for products where the ACenter product is no longer available?
Yes. Yes.
Yes. You want to know, too, one of the
Yeah.
biggest offenders of this, and they do it knowingly. There's an
No.
article from Good Housekeeping or I actually take that. I don't know which publisher it is, so take that out. It might not be Good Housekeeping, but it's a big publisher, and about once a year they push ads to this thing about this tiny home. And I click on it every time just to see if this is now in stock. It never is, but I think they must do so well on the click-through rate that they run it back every year just to like push it out whenever the season opens. And it's always out of stock and has been for literally years. So definitely okay.
Definitely. One of the things that they said was, if there's a great product, don't be frightened to say to your audience, guys, this is currently out of stock, but pop it in your basket. And as soon as it comes back in, I will be sure to remind you.
Yep. Love that.
As long as, don't forget, you're following the rules, you're telling them that you're sending them to Amazon. They know that you're an affiliate. That's cool.
In the US, we have FTC, so Federal Trade Commission is our like guiding legal force there. Is there an equivalent in the UK?
Yes, I think it's called the FTC, Financial Trading Standard Company. Yeah, it's the same. Or it might be ATS. It might be Advertising Standards Agency. It's some. Yeah, we have the same thing.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right, Pete says, so I use PostTap. Is there an advantage to Genius Link instead?
Only that it opens in all. Genius Link for YouTube will be much better if you have an international audience for a YouTube video, because Genius Links opens in wherever that person's Amazon is. Yeah, and Genius Links gives you much better reporting over PostTap.
Yeah,
and Genius Link should pay for. PostTap is free because Amazon pay it for you, as long as you use the same email that's on your Amazon login.
Oh, that makes sense. Christina's going to buy small t-shirts. Thumbs up. Thank you, Christina. We appreciate that. Beth says, wait, Genius Link doesn't work on IG? I've never heard of this. Where did you hear this? I think
it's on a thing. Originally, I'm going to say it came out in about September, and it says quite clearly you cannot use any other deep linking. And do you know what? It's buried pretty deep.
I think, and Zoe, tell me if you think, I think what Dino's saying is what I was assuming, which is that's if you want the creator ad boost, not just general statement.
Do you know what? Yeah, that's what it was. You're right. Yeah, 100%. That was it. Yeah.
Yeah. So Beth, you can use Genius Link on Instagram, but this new creator ad boost that they're doing where they will put money behind your stuff doesn't work if you have a third-party link, only if you're using Amazon's linking tools. I think those are the
I remember now. You're 100% right. I knew it was in there somewhere.
I know it was real weird, but okay. I'm listening while I work from home. Got my tights on to keep me warm. I feel that. All right. Cameron says Genius Link not only localizes, but it will also automatically switch links over to campaigns on third-party platforms like Levanta, and it has an easier link creation and better data than PostTap. So, yes.
The only thing I will say with PostTap, though, I much prefer that PostTap, what you see is AMZ 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, whatever it is. So it looks like an Amazon link, whereas Genius Link is a bit doesn't look like you're sending people to Amazon. Yeah.
Yeah. All right, guys. Zoe, I want to respect your time. We are already 4 minutes over. Zoe,
That's good for us.
I know, it's great. We have so many questions, so much to talk about. I'm going to tell you this because I always forget to tell guests. I will end the stream and then you and I will still be in the studio. So don't feel like you have to run away. And to everyone else, First, huge thank you to Zoe for joining us. This was
Oh,
so much fun, like to hear about Creator School, to chat about all the things that are coming out of it. You guys, my top takeaway from this conversation with Zoe is if you have an opportunity to do the Zoom Creator School, join in.
yeah.
Save yourself the trip to London, which would also be fun, but do the Creator School from home and being able to take advantage of this remotely is huge.
And they do. One of the things they said when we were there, because I sort of said, "How do you pick people? How do you decide?" They said, "We look at your storefronts." She
Oh.
said, "For us, we are there. There is a team of humans, and we look. And if you're not posting regularly,
Mm.
you're not invited.
Which makes
So
sense.
keep posting to your UK,
Yeah.
even if it's just periodically, because nothing exciting is going to happen."
Yeah. Oh, Debbie wants to know, there's an email going out right now, and I think it's very, very recent, Debbie. So, um, if you don't get it within the next couple of days, maybe post about it in the group and we'll check and see because we don't currently think that it's gated. Like,
I
we
don't
think
think
that the
so.
link is
Mm.
universal, so, like, that somebody could share it, but we just wanna see if everybody gets it before we
Mm.
go that route. So we'll
The
talk
only
about it
thing, yeah,
over a group.
when you book on to do the Zoom thing, the only thing you need is a UK store ID. So if you've got that,
Yeah.
you're allowed in.
Okay.
Mm.
Yeah, so much homework to do. All right, guys, we'll be
Uh,
back here next week, same time, same place, but in the group. Just grateful that Zoe would join us on YouTube so that we could share this information for more of the content creators. You guys have a
and
great weekend.
I will post the snacks in the group chat thing.
All right, guys, have a great weekend. We'll talk to you next time.